If you feel the same way I do, and I suspect a lot of you do, you are deeply shocked and moved by the tragedy taking place in Ukraine. It is heartbreaking. Over 3 million Ukrainians have been forced to flee their homes, leaving everything behind and seeking refuge in neighboring countries. And these are the lucky ones. Millions more are still in Ukraine fighting to defend their country, their right to freedom, and their right to choose their own future. The world has been inspired by the resolve of the strong and brave Ukrainian people and their courageous leader, President Zelensky.
Захисникам, слава нашим захисницям. Слава Україні!
Слава!
In trying to figure out how we might be able to help the Ukrainian people, we began studying the various organizations that are providing support and relief to them. While all are outstanding, we were particularly attracted to the mission of the United Nations World Food Program. Last year, this organization was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts to combat hunger in conflict-affected areas. They are currently on the ground in Ukraine, providing critical food assistance for people fighting and fleeing from the conflict. We are fortunate to have Chase Silva, the Director of Public Policy and Research at the World Food Program, on the line with us. Chase, thank you for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you guys for doing this. We're really grateful, honestly, and the need is so urgent and great, so we're happy to have the platform and support.
So tell us what the World Food Program does.
The World Food Program is the world's largest humanitarian organization fighting hunger, right? The organization is operating in about 80 different countries, and this year we're seeking to serve about 137 million people.
Tell us what you can about how are you able to deliver food to the Ukraine with bombs dropping and all of the disarray there and the danger, and how is it possible for you to even get food in there?
Well, I mean, the sad reality is that the United Nations World Food Program has a bit of a history of working in conflict zones, just like the one that we're experiencing in Ukraine today. And really, Judge, it is the speed at which this crisis has escalated which is most staggering, right? This has happened faster than any major humanitarian emergency in recent memory. So in the country right now, food systems are falling apart, plain and simple. And in places that are besieged, places that are encircled, and where we can't get commercial or humanitarian access in, those places are quickly running out of food, water, fuel, all these other necessary things that they need. But I can tell you, we have been at work in Ukraine. We mobilized pretty quickly here. We've been able to bring in enough food to feed about 3 million Ukrainians over the next month. That includes about 450 metric tons of wheat that has been pushed through local bakeries. They're making bread for hundreds of thousands of people. We are greeting people at border regions and refugees and providing hot meals there.
I don't know how to say thank you, but maybe what I can tell you is that on our program, Court in Providence, we have what's called the Philomena Fund. And the Philomena Fund is named after my mom. And the Philomena Fund consists of donations that come in from people literally from all over the world who ask that the Philomena Fund, which is comprised of a committee, use those donations to help those that the committee deems are in need. And certainly there's no greater need right now, in our view, than helping the people in the Ukraine. And so the committee has decided to donate, make a donation from the Philomena Fund, the amount of $2,500.
Well, thank you very, very much. It is indeed going to help move the needle. And we are so grateful. The people, frontline workers of the World Food Program are grateful, and the people in great need around Ukraine are very grateful. One last thing, Judge, I should note before we go is that, this really isn't going to be a crisis that is contained just in Ukraine. I think we really, from a food security perspective, we have to think about this as a rock that's been thrown in a pond, and all of the ripple effects of hunger are going to emanate out from that. Now we have war in one of the world's biggest bread baskets, right? So what's happening here? Ukraine and Russia are responsible for 30% of wheat exports and 20% of corn exports. So I got to say, it's not just a crisis in Ukraine. This is a food security crisis of the likes that we just haven't seen. And if there isn't an influx in funding, if there isn't an influx in support like the type that the Philomena Fund is providing and that your supporters are providing, then it puts us in this incredible zero-sum game where WFP and other organizations have to choose who gets fed and who doesn't, who lives and who dies. And that is a tremendous burden and a horrible position for anyone to be in. So I just want to thank you for helping make that decision a little bit easier to prevent people from having to make those horrible decisions. So I just want to thank you again for all the support.
You're welcome. Congratulations. Keep up your good work.
Thank you.
Take care. To anyone from Ukraine who might see this, please know that you have inspired not only me, but the whole world with your brave fight for freedom. May God bless you all, keep you safe, and most importantly, keep you free.